Good evening, everybody. Shawn Poe here, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Super excited for this webinar tonight. We have an amazing guest presenter. She has risen to the top ranks of the company, and we're just continually blown away by her expertise and just the quality of person that she is. And it goes to show how valuable of a company and product line that we have our hands on when it attracts people like Amy Holmwood. So Amy Holmwood, she prior to Lifevantage, she was one of the top insurance people in the entire world. Her resume is second to none, but I think more importantly than what she's accomplished in the business world is just who she is as a person. She's an amazing mother, she's an amazing wife, and such an incredible friend to Michelle and I, and we look forward to just continuing this journey of Lifevantage with her throughout the years. She's somebody that we consider not only a friend, but a mentor and a business partner in all of this. So without further ado, I want to bring on Amy Holmwood, our presentator tonight. So Amy, it's all yours.
Thank you, Shawn. It's so great meeting you all and being a part of this tonight. My background, as Shawn was saying, I've been in the insurance business for about 30 years. And 5 years ago, my son was 12 at the time, and I decided that it was time for a new door to open in my life. And I always have been very interested in the wellness sector, but I was not looking for a business opportunity. I was really having some health conditions, and I have something called Lyme disease. And what I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight is not intended to treat, cure, heal, mitigate, or diagnose any disease. I mean, we're all trying to preserve and protect this company. And I think it's really important that we make sure that we really do protect what we have, which is sitting on a silver platter right now for the whole world to learn about. So basically, I became a supplement guru. And I think there's a lot of people out there like me today that are just looking for other modes of healing besides the traditional Western medicine. I mean, basically for Lyme disease, you're just looking at antibiotics and then changing your diet. And I think, you know, a lot of people can understand the impact dietary changes can make. And I think there is more and more information about that today. So that was something that I started looking into a long time ago. And I think part of the conversation that we're having with people now, I want you guys to relate it to how we can talk about how we have good genes and we have bad genes, you know, and we inherit genes from our parents, and our DNA, you know, is passed down epigenetically. With diseases that we can contract like Lyme disease, those will impact and make worse the potentially bad genes that you might have in your DNA. And so that was something that I had already researched a lot about. And I'm going to talk about the science of what we have and also about the business and why I got involved in this. But I was looking for something to help me with keeping those bad genes down regulated. And I was taking probably 30 to 40 supplements a day for a long time. And I was spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month on supplements. I was going to chiropractors, naturopathic doctors, MDs, rheumatologists, a lot of different Lyme experts that none of them take insurance. So I was spending a lot of money. I was probably spending $25,000 to $30,000 a year for probably 7 or 8 years. And I was lucky that I could afford that. But the reality was I wasn't, you know, 100%, but I was committed to my health program. So you just have to be aware that there are people in the world that are really already understand a lot of this epigenetic.
Hey, you guys, I think that we lost her for a second here. Let me see if I can get her back on. All right, I'll have Michelle take a look at making sure that if she jumps back on, that she lets me know. Maybe I saw her right here.
On.
Yep, Amy.
Okay, I just picked it up on my phone. My computer just shut down. All right,
Okay.
sorry guys.
No worries.
Yes.
Let me switch it back
All right,
over to.
you guys can see me?
Yep, we're good now.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. So I'm just using my phone. So as I was saying, there are people out there that really have a lot of knowledge about not necessarily nutrigenomics, but about dietary changes that can change the outcome of your life. And so I was really a person that was very committed to that for my own health. I was an older mom. I had my son when I was 40, and I want to be around for a while. So I am actually someone who really cares about this stuff. And I'm also a businesswoman, and I try to dumb this down as much as possible because we get so into the weeds because we really do have so much information to just brain dump on people. And I'm trying, after 4.5 years, I'm trying to simplify the way that we tell the story and just get it down to, what people really need to know. And there's a paradigm shift happening in the wellness sector. I decided to participate in it. Once I got the information that I needed, I literally, and I don't want to insult Marcy Steiner, but if a mouse had hit the keyboard on the video to watch the ABC News report, I would have ordered Protandim. So if you think that you need to be some expert or somebody who's a superstar in the business world to share this with people, you really just need to give this information to people because there's enough of us out there that are going to get it. You just have to get through the people right now. And we're still in early adopter phase of the company. People don't understand nutrigenomics. They're going to learn more and more about it. But the way that I like to explain it to people, and I'm really, again, trying to simplify this a little bit, is that, you have good genes and you have bad genes. And we all have the same blueprint, but some of us have worse genes than others. We just want to keep those genes turned down. They're like little dimmer switches in our DNA. And so with Protandim, reducing oxidative stress, the reason that oxidative stress goes down with Protandim is because it turns the dimmer switches down that are attached to the bad genes. And those are the genes that cause inflammation in the body. And it turns up the dimmer switches on the good genes that are your survival genes. Those are your genes that protect your body from cellular stress. Those are the genes that are anti-fibrotic, anti-inflammatory. And those are the genes that are anti-aging genes. And we have a lot of young people that we're sharing with these days. And I'm very excited about that because we have so many athletes. We have so many people that are trying to optimize human performance. And they also have seen their parents be very, very sick and take medication. So I really encourage you guys to talk to younger folks, talk to people who are, athletes that are really trying to avoid the health risks that their parents have. And we have a solution by being able to turn down those problem genes with our Nerve 2 product. So that's our main flagship product. From what I understand, about 70% of all our business at Lifevantage, at the 208 million that we're doing, comes from Protandim Nerve 2. And, it's starting to shift a little bit because we do have some other products. But when you can just imagine, I like to use this analogy, we started out in retail. We're publicly traded. At the time when the company formed, it was on the over-the-counter, it was a penny stock over-the-counter exchange. And it was launching a nutrigenomic product that was way, way early to the space of where we are today. I mean, we're talking like light years ahead now where we are than where we started with this company. And then they put Protandim into retail. It literally would have been like putting a probiotic in retail 50 years ago, which is what they did back then. Probiotics have been around for 50 years. My mom used to take them and give them to me when I was a kid. And so, it took 50 years for people to have the knowledge that probiotics are mainstream, and they're hearing them from doctors now. So don't be surprised that you haven't heard about this before because you just don't know so many other things that you didn't know how long they got started in the past. So there's so many other examples, like even penicillin. It was out for like 40 years before anyone started using it. So, information does pass more quickly today than it used to in the past because of the internet. But when people say, oh, I don't understand why I haven't heard about this, just use that probiotic as an example and ask them, hey, are you using a probiotic? Guess what? They've been out for 50 years. There's just science evolving with genetics on the microbiome microbiome now that's showing that we need a probiotic to feed all that gut bacteria. Just like we need a NERV2 activator to turn on our antioxidants in our body, because we're under attack and environmental assault like never before in history. We cannot use something that like a vitamin pill that acts on a one-to-one basis. One molecule of vitamin you consume neutralizes one free radical, game over. With Protandim, you're neutralizing 1 million free radicals per second every second by activating your own body's antioxidants. That's the paradigm shift. So we're not using flip phones. I'm using my smartphone right now to talk to like a lot of people right now, and it's really exciting that I can do that. And I also am really excited about being part of, the next trillion-dollar industry. So as a business person, when I saw this, it made total sense to me that Protandim was in retail. It made total sense to me that they didn't succeed in retail. It made total sense to me that they needed to find a new way to market this product. Back in 2009, they had had 5 years in retail, and it wasn't successful to the level that they wanted, but it wasn't terrible. They did about $3 million a year in sales, which is pretty good for a small vitamin company. And so from there, everything shifted when the company was losing money and they had to figure out a way to market product. So basically, they looked at some consultants to come into the company, and they ended up hiring somebody who said, hey guys, what's the future of the way people are buying stuff? Does anybody know what that is? It's direct to consumer. It's having people drop ship something to their front door. And also the future in the nutritional sector and wellness is also marketing through direct sales. It's the most effective form of marketing a product like this. So I think you're going to see a lot more acceptance in the future as people become more aware that direct sales is one of the most successful channels. It actually is the most successful channel for marketing health products, because people can give information about their experiences on products. And now today, people are looking for other ways of making an income. So this is like a 1-2 punch with the science that we have and with the data that we have to show people. This is an extraordinary opportunity. And so when I saw all the research, when I got involved in 2012, it was the end of 2012, and I think we had 12 studies at the time. And I remember going to an event. It was my first qualifying trip. It was called Pro Club, where we were able to rub elbows and be trained by the leaders in the company. And I remember them saying, if you only knew what was going on in the research area with this company, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night, because there is so much going on that we can't tell you, because it's a publicly traded company, and because there were people on an advisory board that they couldn't disclose like research that's going on. You won't be able to sleep at night. And I thought, wow, I can't sleep now. How much worse can it get? Because I was so excited about the business. And we now have 26 studies. 13 more studies have been published in 4 years. And it seems like it's just ramping up more and more. So I wanted to just, I'm trying to build belief with you guys. I hope I've got my computer is like putting colors on my face. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't want to change my screensaver right now. So I got involved in this, okay? I had no experience in the industry. I was a little bit ashamed. I was a little embarrassed. I'd been very successful in another company. I did, in another industry. Didn't want to, make a fool out of myself by talking to people about network marketing. But I honestly couldn't help myself. And I was looking for another challenge. And I'm somebody who, I like challenges. And I also felt like there was so much more growth that I could take advantage of in another industry. I felt like there was a community here that was a culture I wanted to participate in. I wanted to be part of a group of people that really wanted to help change the lives of other people by giving them information about wellness. And I didn't know how I was going to figure out a way to monetize that. I went on the show, MasterChef season 3. I was going to do a gourmet, vegan and organic food line. I had all these grand designs on how I was going to participate in the next trillion-dollar industry of wellness, this wellness revolution that's happening. And when I saw Lifevantage, it was really like I had made an intention. I had set, as John Maxwell's 15 laws of growth, what we're studying right now. The first one is that you make an intention that you want to grow. And I had made that decision. I want to grow, and so I had said that to the universe. And when I saw Lifevantage, the hair on my arm stood up, and I thought, this could be an answer to where I'm going to grow as a person into a new industry. And I also like to make money, and I won't deny that. I'm not ashamed of it. I think it's awesome. I think it's great to have more wealth. You can help the world. You can share it with other people. You can give it to people. You can give it away. You can do whatever you want with it. And you can really have less stress in your life. And that's the one thing that I think a lot of people have that's causing health crisis in this country. People just, they're broke. 95% of the population doesn't have money for retirement. That's an absolute fact. And there's no real way to just fix that, because most of the jobs today don't provide the kind of benefits that they used to. And when I was a planner working in the insurance business, a lot of the work that I did was around helping people look at their retirement and figure out how much money they were going to have so that they could live without having to ask their kids for money, but also to make sure they had enough money in their retirement plan so that then when they bought their life insurance, they could fix some of their other tax problems with life insurance, which was very expensive. So, I talk to people about retirement, and this is a huge problem, even people that have money. So don't think that just because somebody has a nice car or a nice house, that they have all their retirement plans taken care of. The majority, there's 95% of the people don't. And so we have an answer that I felt like this is another way I can use the knowledge that I have, earned over the years and learned to be able to show people that there is another way to have a different kind of lifestyle without all the headaches of a traditional business, which I actually experienced with many, many employees. And I have to tell you, I'm a terrible boss, in case anybody's wondering. People in my team are probably going, really? Yeah, maybe it wouldn't be that much fun to work with Amy. I'm not anybody's boss in Lifevantage, and I didn't sign up to be a boss. And sometimes I feel like, that's something that people are better at than I am, but it's really okay. We're just sharing information with people, and we're leading people to this. We're inspiring people to get involved. We're inspiring people to grow. We're inspiring people to participate in something new and do something different that they've never done before, and kind of burst through that wall of fear that many of us have to, when we know we need to make a change, and it's terrifying, at a number of different levels. So the one thing I can tell you, I was talking to someone today who's an architect. He's just an amazing, amazing, brilliant guy, about just breaking through and breaking into a new place, and that the community that you have here is the safest place that you could ever be to start another business. And it's a total career shift for someone who's an architect to get into a totally different type of a business. But really not, it really isn't, because he was trying to make people's lives better with creating spaces for them. And we're just trying to make people's lives better by helping them financially and helping them with a choice of something better that they can put into their body. So, but it's the community that we have that makes it really not that scary to get involved in this. So I really encourage people who are kind of sitting on the sidelines. You don't understand what this is until you jump in, because you won't experience the community until you sign up as a distributor and start going to some of our events and meeting people that are going to support you, that are going to be there for you, because everybody's going through the same thing when they get involved in this. There's no shortcuts in this. You have to do the work to be successful in this. You have to talk to people. You have to be willing to share. You have to be willing to, engage in conversations. And that's personal growth right there. The most beautiful thing about this is we don't have employees. We don't have bricks and mortar. We have a website that people go to. We don't touch product. It gets drop shipped from the company. Everything is dated. Everything has a code on it. So if there's a problem with the product, somebody has an issue, they call customer service. I mean, this is like, I'm telling you guys, this is like a ridiculously easy business to run. The hardest part of this is actually just, can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Yeah, the most challenging part of this is just for each of us to get out of our own way and, and make a decision that we want to make a major change in our lives for the better, and also to participate in a community that's just total entrepreneurial spirit. So how you get involved with Lifevantage is there's either you can be a customer, which we absolutely love. Probably about 70% of everyone that enrolls is a customer. And just a statistic I got from our CEO, Darren Jensen, recently is that if people stay on Protandim and our other products for 90 days, the reorder rate is so high, it's insane. Like the drop-off rate is in the single digits. If they only go on our products for like a month and maybe one bottle, or maybe they try another month and they don't stay on that 90 days, they don't give their bodies a chance to really experience the benefits of at least just our one product, which is Protandim Nerve 2. We have other amazing products, and this is a really short discussion tonight, so I can't get into all that. I don't even know what time it is, but you'll tell me when I'm okay. I got 9 minutes, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about how we do the business. But basically, we're going to have a lot of customers, and then our job, if we want to really build a business with this, which we have sitting on a silver platter, is to find other people who are interested in using the products, and they're interested in committing to using them and and sharing the information with other people. That's what a distributor does. And our distributors are more committed to using the products than a customer. So when you just think about how you want to build a business that's got a really firm foundation, you want to focus on distributors. And even if distributors don't really build businesses, they're a little bit more engaged, and they learn more they get more information because they're invited on things like this to learn more about the science, to learn more about the quality of the company. And so I just encourage all of you guys to focus on enrolling distributors, getting them plugged in, and also you will get lots of customers. We are a customer-driven company, but if you want to build a big business, you're going to talk to people about getting involved as a distributor, and you're going to find those business builders, and you only have to have 5. So basically, we have 3 ways you can get involved. Everybody has to start with a $50 start kit, and that's going to launch your business, and it's going to give you a business kit that has samples and it's blueprint, training, and all of that. And then there are 3 options. The most successful option to launch your business properly is called a platinum distributorship. It's $1,200 plus the $50 start kit, so it's a $1,250 business investment in yourself. And then there's a $650 and a $350 with those start kits, and they're all fine. But I have to tell you, we're in the business of training people on how to be successful in Lifevantage. That platinum distributorship statistics are significantly higher for success in the company. So if you're looking at this for the first time, I really encourage you guys, if you can take that leap, to go ahead and do the platinum distributorship. And there's a number of reasons for that. There's also more training. It's a much higher value. So that's how we get started. And then from there, we train you immediately on how to get your money back and how to get your return on investment. And then we train you on the compensation plan, and also how to build your story and how to work together with your team, because you have a leadership team. Everybody has a team that they can count on to help them build their business. And if for some reason you're just one of these people that got a drive-by sponsor, you're going to find somebody else that can help you build your business. We're totally available. Everybody wants to help each other. We want to get this company to $1 billion. We want to have this company be a shining light in the direct sales industry, and we're all confident that it's going to be, to build multi-generational wealth for all of us. And also, we're going to need the money because Protandim extends life. in mammals, I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old to find out that I should have taken it. We don't have that on humans right now, but we do have it on, we're the only supplement proven to extend life in a mouse. And this research has been going on since the early 90s. And we happen to have gotten involved in some of the research recently. And, this is amazing what we have. You guys, if we were a huge pharmaceutical company that had ads on TV and it says proven to extend life, do you have any idea that it would be insane? It's something that you can't pay for that type of information. So, a lot of people are skeptical, they haven't heard about it, they go on the internet, and I really encourage you guys, when you go on the internet, to use something called scholar.google.com validated. You're not going to get these pay-per-click bloggers. So if any of you guys have been doing Protandim research and you're concerned, about, people going on the internet and looking at Protandim, if you took the time to research the people that were the bloggers, you would just be horrified at their stories. I mean, they literally have no credibility whatsoever. Nobody does that research. They just go on and they click on things. So I just want to make sure you guys understand that the real research here is not the pay-per-click bloggers. So we can get past that. So don't use that as a barrier to entry, that you're like afraid that people are going to, not be able to get the right information. Everything is out there, and it can be validated. We work with a lot of physicians. I wouldn't encourage everyone to run out and build businesses with doctors. They're very busy. But just so you know, we are we are ending up getting a lot of people from medical practitioners in our industry. You know, I know Shawn and Michelle's team has a lot of people in medicine. You don't have to have been a business owner to do this. You have to be somebody that believes in yourself, who wants something different out of their life, and also wants to build an income stream that no other business, unless you're a writer or you're a publisher or you're a singer, where you're going to have residual royalty commissions or in the insurance business, but it doesn't last forever because clients die and then the money stops. So, you know, this is a very different type of a business model. It's one that if you build it for 5 years, you're going to have an asset. And I don't know very many other businesses that are going to do that. And you're not doing it on your own. You're doing it with other people helping you. So you are not alone. You're totally supported. So Shawn, you know, I went off script a little bit. I just wanted to share with you guys where my head is right now. Totally focused on getting us to $1 billion. And we cannot do that alone. We have to find the entrepreneurs that see the vision of where this company's going. So if you guys, you know, have any other thoughts, you want me to share anything, you know, I didn't go into any other products or anything.
No, it's absolutely perfect, Amy. And I love listening to your matter-of-fact business sense and how you see it from a professional's eyes. And I want you guys to understand that Amy has a business that's generating revenue of over $1 million in orders every single month. This isn't just some other distributor that we have talking to you guys tonight about what we have our hands on. She is definitely one of the top in the world, not only in our company, but in the industry in general. And that goes to show you, you cannot prejudge
Shawn,
who you're exposing.
I just lost some internet here.
You there, Amy? So, you know, with that, you guys, if you are on this for the first time and just hearing this information, if you have not seen the ABC Primetime video, please ensure that you get that ABC Primetime video from somebody or look on YouTube for ABC Primetime Pro Tandem and make sure that you watch that. That's really the story, the foundation of where this company started. And then, you know, this kind of brought you up to speed on where we're at today in 2017. But I'm telling you, we are just getting started. We're locking arms with leaders like Amy Holmwood across the world. Looking at the participants on this webinar tonight, I can tell you that it's got a global presence. We've got Canada, the United States, Australia, different places all over the world that people are jumping in on this. So, Amy, I just really, really appreciate you taking time. You're a valuable asset and a great friend to Michelle and I, so we appreciate you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot, you guys. Take care. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Have a great night, everybody, and we will talk with you later. Take care.